It's just like we're talking now.
And then we're not going to know if this is ever happening before.
No one's going to know because I'm going to just go zip, and that's me doing a chopping.
That's you chopping.
I'm going woo! Chopping. Hello and welcome to the Go Home Show. I am Chris Adair. And with me as always is my friend and fellow wrestling fanatic, Richard McKinney. Richard, tell the fans at home what this show is all about.
The show's about a lot of nonsense.
What?
The show
Way to sell the show, buddy. Well, way to sell the show.
This show is a show by the fans, for the fans, about anything in the world of professional wrestling, whether it be WWE, TNA, or any of the other independent promotions. I know we're big fans of Ring of Honor around here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but that's basically all it is. It's us. We're not insider folk.
No.
We don't have the facts. We don't have any inside information, but we get together, you and I, once a week, and we talk about the world of professional wrestling.
It's a discussion. It's commentary. It's an opinionated show, full of facts, rumors, and what have you. We just take what we've learned in the past, from years of watching pro wrestling, and apply it to what's going on now, and to see what could be happening in the future from that knowledge, from that past knowledge.
I think we just need to get right into it tonight.
Old School Raw
Yes.
was a fantastic show.
It was a good show.
Not all great. It was a lot better than last week's Raw, for sure.
Absolutely.
Old School Raw started off with a woo! Ric Flair returning to style and profile.
Correct.
Only to get interrupted by one Randy Orton, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And he had a few things to say to Rick.
He did.
He said that first he was all kind of like, hey, buddy. And then he was like, hey, but I'm better than you, and you suck, and you're overrated. And I was like, well, if there's a move in wrestling where every time someone does it, every time somebody does the chop, you get the woo in the crowd, and
I think, obviously this was it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, I think if there was anything in Old School Raw that just made sense, it's Ric Flair and Randy Orton having a confrontation.
Yeah, because of the Evolution connection.
Exactly.
It just makes sense.
It's not that we expected it to start the show, but I think whether you say anything or not, everybody was expecting them to end up face to face at some point.
And I mean, it was a cool exchange, and it let Randy Orton get that heat, that big heel heat.
Yeah.
You know, it progresses Orton in that sense of this guy's a douchebag and he thinks a lot about himself.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was kind of reminiscent of the Legend Killer days.
Yeah, I wish he didn't get rid of that.
Yeah.
It's a cool gimmick.
But
maybe it's because it's got killer in the name. Don't want to offend the little kiddies.
Yeah, maybe that's something. I don't know.
So then after they exchange, Cena comes out and saves Ric Flair, and it really that
John
great?
Cena gets to be Superman or something.
Yeah. The next segment featured the Wyatts with a new looking D-Bry.
A new looking D-Bry.
It was D-Bry
all of
and
his
the Wyatts.
All of his teeth were still intact.
Indeed.
I
really thought...
really don't like either of the other two guys.
Yeah.
Like, I love Bray Wyatt. I hate Eric Rowan and Luke Harper.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to really touch on was the possibility of the double swerve.
The double swerve!
Where D-Bry joins the Wyatts just so that he can break them up, so then he can get Bray Wyatt alone, so that he can take him on at WrestleMania or something like that. Because notice it's the first week that D-Bry is part of the Wyatts, and I'm doing quotes.
Yeah.
And they start fighting, and so it's kind of like he's joining so that he can break. It's kind of like destroying from the inside instead of doing what he was trying to do before, which was destroy them, through force. You do it the sneaky way, the strategic way.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you're onto something.
Within the next few weeks and months, I think he's going to start doing... Possibly. This is possible what's going to happen.
Yeah,
this is just the book of Chris.
Absolutely.
That, throughout the next few weeks, we're going to start seeing him trying to, like, take more leadership roles, trying to, like, downplay Bray Wyatt as a leader, and maybe try to destroy the faction in that way, and by WrestleMania time, it'll just be D-Bry and Bray Wyatt, and they'll be able to go head-to-head.
Yeah.
The next match was Big E, the Intercontinental Champion, taking on Curtis Axel for that very title.
Correct.
Big E gets the win.
Correct.
What I like about the Big E stuff, he's constantly on TV, and like
he's good.
Usually when they put the title on a guy, like he's present for a few weeks and then defends the title on the next pay-per-view after he gets it, and then just kind of drops off the face of the earth. This is one problem that the WWE's had for a while, and Stone Cold Steve Austin talked about this, where the Intercontinental and United States Championships used to be prestigious belts held by great champions, like WrestleMania 7?
6 or 7 sounds right.
I can't remember, but it was Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. Ultimate Warrior was the Intercontinental Champ, and he was as big as the WWE Champion. Like, now that they have one world title, those two championships are way more important now because you don't have that secondary world title. You need that Intercontinental and United States title to be way more important, and it needs to have some kind of prestige, some kind of importance put behind it, a storyline so that you can get invested in the championship. You can get invested in the champion that's holding the belt.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely correct. And I think you and I, we said this very early, that he definitely has that potential to be a world champ. And I think that's coming through pretty strong right now. All right,
on to the next segment.
Yeah.
It was Piper's Pit. Roddy Piper.
Did that really just happen?
We got a Piper fan back there.
Was that Mike?
That was.
Oh, boy. Well,
anyway.
Anything can happen on the Go Home Show.
The Rowdy one came back.
He did.
Old school Raw.
And things got a little rowdy, did they not?
And his guests were The Shield. And they wasted no time.
Those rascals.
He didn't even get to say anything. He didn't get to open up his show. It was just like...
He was at the line, I fought some guys. And then they came out. And then he said it again later. Because apparently the first time wasn't good enough.
Because he needed to really make that point.
Yeah. Because we don't know that he's Roddy Piper. And has been around for forever.
Yeah, so I thought they're just really pushing Roman Reigns. It's like super apparent at this point. And just kind of the crack in the Shield, trying to elevate that storyline. So eventually something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns is going to break apart.
I think the interesting thing to me, I guess it was mostly expected. He jumped right into tearing them apart. He gets up in all their faces and says, guys, like, look, you couldn't beat him. Looks Dean Ambrose, you couldn't beat him. And the funniest thing to me and all that was, like, Ambrose got all upset, and Piper's just like, is it bothering you?
Yeah.
And then, like,
that was awesome.
And then, Reigns this whole time, I think just, throughout the whole history of the Shield, Reigns has kind of been I don't want to say dark horse, but he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's just so big.
Yeah.
Like, he gets in there, he'll get in your face, he'll make sure like, look, dude.
Yeah. And I think you can tell just, like, that he's comfortable with what he's doing. He's, like, confident in his character now. He's starting to get that momentum where the fans are actually reacting to Roman Reigns. And I think out of all three of those guys, Roman Reigns is the guy who needs that the most because he's the least known of the three. When it comes to
the
entire wrestling world.
Yeah. The end of Piper's Pit, obviously CM Punk was quick to come out.
That's right.
To the rescue.
That's right. The Shield were about to take out Piper.
The cult of personality.
And then...
Yeah, that happened.
And no one expected the New Age Outlaws to come out.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody expected that at all.
Oh, you didn't know?
I think that was genius.
It was pretty awesome.
It
was old school.
I really hope they stayed for a little bit.
I think, yeah, I love the New Age Outlaws. I think they could totally...
I just love Billy Gunn.
I like the Road Dogg, so... And then it happened.
It did. What happened?
Brock Lesnar and Paul Lee. Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat.
Yep, that would be correct. That's what I do every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Put it on a t-shirt. So, Brock Lesnar comes out. Mark Henry interrupts. They go at it. And then Brock Lesnar breaks, air quotes, Mark Henry's arm. And everything's all dandy for Brock Lesnar. And then,
yeah.
It's a big show.
And then it happened.
And then he gets tossed.
Yeah.
Big Show tosses Brock Lesnar.
If you watch it back.
Boom.
I mean, I'm big on facial expression.
Across the ring.
You hear Big Show's music hit, you look at his face, and he just, I've never seen Brock Lesnar's eyes get that big.
He changed his cadence.
Yeah. Yeah. It's vocabulary 101 right there.
WWE vocabulary.
But his eyes got huge.
Yeah.
And you don't see Brock Lesnar back down to anybody.
And then there's the Big Show.
Yeah, there's two main elements here. There's not many people, this is number one, not many people in the company are as big and good as he is at that size.
Yeah.
But the Big Show has some weight on Brock Lesnar.
Definitely.
And Brock Lesnar, I think he knows that he's finally got somebody who's not just going to be a play toy.
Yeah.
He is no longer the biggest dude in this game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome to see. I think it'll be a big ego check for him.
Yeah. So after that, we saw a little return that I myself was super happy about.
Oh, goodness.
Too Cool. You fly tonight.
Yeah.
Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexay with Rikishi, the bad man, coming out. I just wish the crowd didn't suck.
Yeah.
The crowd didn't deserve anything that happened on Old School Raw.
They should do an Old School Raw in Phoenix.
Yeah. Because you know that you're going to get some awesome pops in Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're a little biased, so. I just think it was cool that they all came back. They had a match. I think Too Cool's one of those teams that you probably won't be able to recapture that lightning that Too Cool had. But I think it's one of those you still got it moments.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know?
They're still very, very together.
Seemed like it.
But I mean, they're not coming back, unfortunately.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Because
I mean,
with
Scotty's being a firefighter. Yeah.
Rikishi's got a wrestling school.
Yep.
And I don't know what the heck Grandmaster Sexay is doing, but
yeah. I don't think anybody knows what he's
there
doing.
somewhere.
He's doing his thing. But I think that was a cool moment.
That was, absolutely.
It was too cool.
Made me miss my skateboard. For those of you that don't know that, I me and Chris were talking about it. I had a skateboard with the three of them on the bottom.
Oh boy.
Like the worst skateboard ever.
It was too cool.
Onto
the main event.
Thing.
On to the main event.
No!
Yes.
Okay, fine.
It was the moment of truth. It was Roman Reigns versus CM Punk.
Paul Heyman's not involved in this crap.
Could Roman Reigns defeat CM Punk? Could he be the crack in the shield? Could Roman Reigns be better than Seth? I was building up. could Roman Reigns be better than Seth Rollins
The answer
and
is yes.
Dean? Gosh dang it, Richard! Let me speak.
Okay, so let me teach
The
you.
answer is yes.
Correct.
Roman Reigns pins CM Punk in the middle of that 20 by 20 squared ring. 1, 2, 3. My goodness gracious me. And it wasn't cleanly. There was some shenanigans, but he won, and that's all that matters. That's all that's in the history books, is that Roman Reigns is better than Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
I think everybody kind of saw that coming once they set the match up. And it's one of those things that just makes sense.
I mean, it could have gone any other way. CM Punk could have won that match. Could have gone on Roman Reigns and then the Shield.
But it wouldn't, like, for as much as they've been, it would have basically thrown that whole
absolutely.
thing down the drain.
What would have it done? What would it have accomplished
Absolutely
if
nothing.
Roman Reigns lost that match? 0, zip, zilt, nada.
Yeah.
But after that match, it got crazy. It was the New Age Outlaws and CM Punk and the Shield, and they were going at it. Oh my goodness gracious! And that's pandemonium here. But then the music hit. Jake the Snake Roberts returns to Monday Night Raw after 9 years. And oh my goodness, did he have Damien.
It was a new and improved Damien.
It was new and improved Jake the Snake Roberts. After a lot of DDP yoga and a lot of not being drunk. Jake looks good, man.
Was he at that DDP like house thing that
The accountability grip?
was Jake the Snake there?
Yes, he was. He was the very first. He was the numero uno.
Got it.
And then Scott Hall kind of...
Followed.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
He's talking about doing his own podcast now. He's talking about getting back in the ring. Like, this dude is the very essence of resiliency. Like...
How old is he now?
He's an old dude. He's like 60-something.
I'm going to hope he doesn't get back in the ring.
I just think it'd be cool to see Jake the Snake, one more time, maybe in the Rumble. He might be that one dude. Like, that's Jake the Snake's goal. I was watching an interview with him about it, and that's his goal, is to be in the Rumble. And he's not going to win it.
No.
But he's going to be in it, and he's going to be able to do his thing, hit the DDT. I mean, I just think it's fantastic that these, Jake the Snake and Scott Hall are guys who everyone thought were going to just be, another dead wrestler. Yeah. Another guy who screwed up, destroyed their lives, and died because of drugs and alcohol. And these guys have totally turned their lives around. And I think, for me at least, that's a powerful thing, and I think it should be celebrated. So
no, absolutely, but
I mean,
just do it. I would love to see him back. I think it'd be great. I just think if he does, that's one more thing that the company's just gonna have to be super careful with.
Sure.
Just so that he doesn't get hurt.
But that was Raw.
That was
Raw.
Here's something we should do.
What's that?
Star rating.
Ooh. Okay, so it's 5-star rating.
Yeah.
I would give Raw 3.5 stars. Because
accurate.
I think anything above that sort of.
I wasn't gonna go past 3.
Yeah.
So I'd say generally good show, but not the best.
Yeah. Not the greatest.
So if you want to watch it back, 3.5 star show.
Yeah. Definitely not 5 stars.
Definitely not 5 stars.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know if the Go Home Show sold it for you. We talked about a lot of stuff. Let us know on Twitter. I'm at The Ref Is Blind. Where can we catch you?
At Rich McKinney on Twitter.
No. At Rich Country on Twitter.
Why do I keep doing that? At Rich Country on Twitter.
You need to plug your stuff correctly.
I do. I'm glad somebody can.
At Rich Country.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitter. As Christian. On the Twitter.
That was good.
And you can catch this show on youtube.com/Durango Pro. Richard, I think it's time to go home.
I think it is. I'm out of Dr. Pepper.
Let's go home.
Let's go.